And I was just laying in the dark quietly, realizing that I couldn't breathe. And I thought, well, I'll tell myself a story. I will start thinking about TV shows. And then, because I have pressure of speech, which you never could imagine from listening to this channel, I started telling my husband the plot of the worst episode of Morse. And it is the settling of the sun. It's ridiculous. They use that stupid trope where the ring of murderers invites the detective to an event. In this case, it's a dinner party. And it's poor Morse. He's so happy to be invited and give a talk. And it's all a ruse so that they can have him see this Japanese guy, and this is important that he's Japanese, run out of the room sick and then go and find a body, and it will establish the alibi of these murderers. But it goes wrong. Their little doppelganger plot goes wrong. And I couldn't tell my husband last night what the actual outcome or the motive was. And I've rewatched it since then, and I still couldn't tell you. But when I got done trying to tell him about it, and remind you, if you haven't listened before, he hates Morse, and it's a running joke with us, and I love it. I'm the preeminent coastal Georgia Inspector Morse expert, and I couldn't tell you the point of settling of the sun. And it's just an hour and a half of watching this woman be mean to Morse, and then the thing that most people hate about it is the creative camera work. Well, so I reassessed the show, and it is still a really crappy episode. But the camera work is actually beautiful. And if you will refer to the screenshot I've provided, you will see that Morse is on the left, but Lewis is in the door, and he's looking to the right because the Morse on the left is in a mirror. And I didn't realize that at first. And the real Morse is off screen on the right, and Lewis is talking to him. And the Morse in the mirror is kind of cut off at the knees. So you're getting clues here that there's some doppelganger action happening, and it's not going to work because the mirror image has been cut in the middle. And what's going on in this scene is great. It's just classic Morse. They've got this pathologist named Max, and he and Morse don't get along, and he was only in 7 episodes, but it seems like he was there longer because their interchanges are so amusing. And he's needling Morse. He's trying to make him look at the body, and it's a particularly bad murder, but you don't see much because this was the kind of thing that was on Masterpiece Theater. But you see John Thaw's reaction to it, and you know at the best of times he doesn't like to look at the body, but in this case he's standing looking out the window. It's in his face. It's just so distressing for him. And Max is going, take a look, take a proper look. He won't look. Then Lewis comes in, and Lewis is Morse's punching bag in a lot of the old episodes. He takes his frustration out on Lewis. He says, Lewis, I've been here the whole time. Where were you? Well, Morse, you were at the dinner where this murder happened, so of course you were here the whole time. And Morse says to Lewis, take a look at the body. Well, Lewis isn't squeamish. He takes a look, and he says, look at what's been done to this guy, but there's no blood. So what Morse hadn't seemed to notice is that the body had been moved. But the clever plot does not work. They were planning on this bunch of white European, mostly English people were planning on nobody else being able to tell the difference between 2 Japanese guys. So they were planning on everybody being essentially racist. But of course, when you invite like drunk Sherlock puzzle-solving Holmes to your dinner party to establish your alibi, you have messed up because Morse is going to get you, and he does. And all this is to say, you know, I was having a terrible night last night. I couldn't breathe. I started telling my husband how funny this episode was. And then I realized I could breathe, and I was talking and laughing. And then we started saying our favorite Mystery Science Theater lines to each other, like, "This is where the fish lives," and "Are you ready to put him back in his own body?" And then the lights came on, and everything was fine. And on your worst day, you may find that you have a good time talking to someone unexpectedly. We wouldn't have had a good conversation that in depth if the lights had been on and we both had been playing games. And I wouldn't have rewatched that episode of Morse and noticed that beautiful mirror shot and the scene that basically solves the mystery after the first 20 minutes of the episode. A bad episode of Morse is still an episode of Morse. The best show, the best 33 feature-length TV movies ever made. And your worst day above ground is still a day that you have to find something good in. So the next time that you're panicking, just start talking, even if you're alone. Start telling your story, and maybe you will find that you can breathe again.